Okay, class, this is for my ENGL C1010 slash C1011 classes, sections 002 or 007. If you are in either of those sections, then basically you're doing the same thing as the other classes, so this applies to both of you. This is for our week 2, or what I'm calling Oops All COVID, because I basically got sick right away, and I've spent the rest of the week at home recovering. My fever's down enough. I had to go to the hospital. It was a whole thing. But I've gotten my voice back, so I can do some video recording. And we could try and catch up on the things that were missed this week. Luckily, we actually got into class Monday, talked about the writing process and all that, and we really only missed the Wednesday class and the Wednesday lab. So we're going to catch up with some of the readings, and we are going to basically go from there. I know this is pretty late in the week. I am recording this really late Friday night, so I don't anticipate that people are going to see it until probably Monday, which is fine. It's honestly fine. We could push back due dates and all of that kind of stuff. So what I have here is I have a list of things to do just to, I forgot the modules here. I'll fill these in a second. I'll show you where, I'm going to show you where everything is. First, finish this video. This is going to be all right, we've been out of class. We need to catch up. How are we going to do that? What are we doing? Second, this is going to be the first video in a playlist of the other things that I wanted to talk about this week, in particular, sections 2 and 3 of 10 Ways to Think About Writing. And then we are going to do some of the work that we missed. Now, I know even the syllabus says, discussion number 2 is due on Saturday. It's like, don't worry about the due dates. Try and get them done within the next week. I know discussion number 2 is technically due like tomorrow/later today. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the due dates on any of this. Just take a week from the time you watch this video to go ahead and get all this stuff done. Go ahead and watch the video about sections 2 and 3 about 10 ways to think about writing, and then let me show you what we're doing on the Blackboard. So I'm going to be using the 002 shell. These are the same. They are identical across both of them. So don't worry about that. If you go into this is the 1010, and again, if you're in my 007 section, that'll just be a 7 instead of a 2. It's totally fine. Under discussions, you've got discussion number 2 up. Visible to students, it's there for you to do. Discussion number 2 is I just want you to tell me about your writing process. We talked about it on Monday, the different stages of the writing process: pre-writing, drafting, revision, and proofreading. And I just want to know what you used to do before you came into this class. Like when you were in high school and you got assigned a paper, what was your writing process like? Did you engage with pre-writing at all, like outlining and brainstorming, or not? Or, if you did, what are the kinds of things you did? If you didn't, how did that work out? So, did you proofread, if at all? Yes or no? Did you revise? What were the kinds of things you looked at when you were revising? Were the people that you were turning things into, were they more concerned with grammar, or did they care about things like focus and organization, like we talk about here? Just whatever your experience was is what I want to know about. Even if your experience is, I didn't have a writing process. I just sat down, typed out a bunch of stuff, turned it in, hoped for the best. It's like, okay, you can describe all that to me. Most importantly, that says do. That should have said did. Did what you've done in the past work for you? If not, why didn't it work for you? If so, what are the things you're going to take from your past experience do you think will be applicable in your college writing process experience? So basically, how did you used to write in the past? Did it work? If so, why? If not, why? What would you rather have done differently? What are you taking to the future? Just a bunch of your thoughts about your writing process and how you got to be the kind of writer you are today in at least 250 words. So that is the discussion. That's discussion number 2. And then we are going to have A couple things to do in the lab. One, reading responses are part of the grade. I know I said I don't do reading quizzes generally, but reading responses are in the lab grade rubric. I have to do them. That's not something I got to decide. And so we're going to keep them casual and easy, though. So this week, what you should have read is 10 Ways to Think About Writing, sections 8, 1, 2, and 3. So all I want to know, as you're going through these, in at least 200 words, what's been something interesting that you've not thought of before? Are there any of the concepts we've covered that you think will be useful to you? Why do you think they'll be useful to you? Is there anything in the readings you found confusing or maybe not clear? Were there parts you disagreed with? Just what is your general response to the things we've read so far? You could focus on one of these readings. You can hit all of them. It's entirely up to you what you want to talk about or the ideas that you want to focus on. If you just want to talk about section 3 the entire time, you are more than welcome to. If you want to talk about all 4, go for it. I just want to know your thoughts. Which one of these impacted you, and how did they do so, positively or negatively? So go ahead and do that at some point. And then finally, we've got the weekly journal is up. We are doing some detail practice. So if you are done watching 10 Ways to Think About Writing, section number 3, the video on that, then this will make more sense, because this is a reference to 10 Ways to Think About Writing, section number 3. So let me open this up for you real quick. Okay, so you should be able to see this picture here. So per the instructions, first take a look at this picture. A little dog with a motorcycle. This is a cool dude, totally the coolest of dudes. I think that is actually true. So what I want you to do for this writing journal is do your best to describe this cool dude and write as if you're writing to someone else who cannot see this picture. They just don't have access to it at all. So when we think about 10 Ways to Think About Writing, section 3, there is a part where she's talking about the sentence, I have a little green ball. In this case, it's a dog with a motorcycle, is similarly not a very effective sentence. Go and either do the reading for section 3 or watch the video for section 3, and you'll figure out why this isn't a very descriptive or good sentence. So I want you to do your best to take this picture and use your words to put it in your reader's head. We want our reader to see this specific dog with this specific motorcycle on this specific background without them having to have seen the picture. We want to use our words to paint that picture for them, vis-a-vis 10 Ways to Think About Writing, section number 3. So this is something you want to read and or watch the video before you even do, or before you even start on this thing right here. And your post should be at least 250 words long. Now, as an addendum to our writing process discussion, you could totally pre-write on these things as well. So it's absolutely, it would make sense, like if you know that, oh, the professor's going to be looking that I get all these details in this because I'm trying to be as descriptive as possible, do some listing or do some mapping or something like that, where it's like, okay, I'm just going to sit down and I'm just going to do bullet points, write down every detail I see. I'm not worried about typing it into paragraphs and sentences yet, like you should do for your journal. I'm just doing some visual analysis first. I'm just looking at it and making some notes. And that'll make sure you don't miss anything for when you do start, sit down and start writing. So I encourage you to engage the writing process entirely, even on a small assignment like this. That kind of habit building can be very positive. So basically, that is what I want you to do. Detail practices under the weekly journals, reading responses under reading responses. I just forgot to fill that out. But yeah, watch the rest of this video, watch the rest of this playlist. The other videos I think are about 15, 16 minutes long each. Do discussion number 2 on the C1010 for your section. Do detail practice number 1 on the C1011 for your section. Reading response 1 on the 1011 for your section. And do make sure to check Blackboard before class on Monday. In particular, if you are commuting to AUM. The reason I say that is I'm not entirely well. I'm going to send out an announcement about noon on Sunday about whether or not I'll be back in class on Monday. I'm still running a fever. I haven't retested to know if I'm positive. I only have so many home tests. I can't just do that willy-nilly. But I will be testing Sunday morning, and I will be sending it out an announcement after that. So the CDC guidelines for this are 5 days since the beginning of infection, where the day you started is technically day 0. So we would count at 6 days normally. That is Sunday for me. However, the guidelines are also I should be able to have gone 24 hours without a fever, without having to take medicine or fever reducing medicine. I'm not there yet, and it's Friday night, so I don't know if I will be there Sunday, and I am in no way going to risk your health by coming to class, possibly sick. We can do online another week. I am feeling better enough to where I'm going to be better prepared and able to do that. You won't have to wait until next Saturday to get the week's information. But do check Blackboard before class on Monday, although I will have that announcement out to you around noon on Sunday. Give or take an hour or two, depending on, how things are going around the house. So if you have any questions for me, let me know. You can send me an email. I'm able to respond to emails again now without it being like too mentally taxing. So we're going to get back into the swing of things. Even if we have to do a little more online time, we're going to catch up and things are going to be fine. So as long as you're keeping up with the readings, keeping up with the work, you are absorbing the material that I want you to absorb. It's unfortunately not as valuable as like an in-class discussion, but we're doing the best with what we've got right now. So watch the rest of this playlist. Hopefully I see you in class on Monday. If not, well, we'll keep doing stuff online, and do check your Blackboard before rolling up to campus at like 8 a.m. on Monday on the off chance that we're not having class. Again, you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. See you in the next video.